In our vast and varied interactions, wisdom in relationship management isn't just about whom we extend our hands to, but also about discerning whom we might consider stepping back from. Today, we delve deep into the principles of Stoicism to explore an enlightening perspective. The types of people who may not benefit from our help, or who might even hinder our own growth when we attempt to assist them. Stoicism, with its profound emphasis on virtue and practical wisdom, equips us to identify these interactions that might seem counterintuitive to avoid. As we unpack these insights, you'll learn to safeguard your energy, foster relationships that are truly reciprocal, and cultivate environments where genuine growth is a shared journey. Join me as we navigate these Stoic lessons, helping you to make thoughtful decisions about where and how you invest your invaluable time and efforts. If you find value in the Stoic insights we're about to explore, do me a simple favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, ensuring you won't miss out on any of our future explorations. Let's embark on this journey together, starting right now. Before we begin our journey into ancient wisdom, please take a moment for a small but meaningful task. In the comments below, type "God helped right away" as we prepare to explore the transformative powers of these sacred ingredients. Together, let's embrace the healing and enlightenment that awaits us. 1. The unappreciative. Have you ever given your best effort to help someone only to receive no thanks in return? It's a common experience that can leave us feeling undervalued and discouraged. However, Stoic philosophy offers a refreshing perspective on dealing with unappreciative people. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches that the true value of our actions lies not in the recognition we receive from others, but in the virtue of the act itself. Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic, emphasized doing the right thing for its own sake, not for applause or thanks. He believed that what matters most is that our actions align with our moral values, regardless of external acknowledgement. When we help someone who doesn't show appreciation, it's important to remember Stoic teachings. Instead of expecting gratitude, focus on the reason behind your action. Ask yourself, am I helping to be kind and virtuous, or am I looking for praise? Stoicism teaches us to be self-reliant in our satisfaction and fulfillment. By not tying our happiness to others' reactions, we maintain our inner peace and avoid disappointment. In relationships, whether with friends, family, or colleagues, encountering unappreciative behavior is inevitable. For instance, you might spend hours helping a friend move to a new house without even a thank you. Stoicism advises us to not let this lack of appreciation affect our willingness to help. The act of helping is a practice in virtue and should be its own reward. Moreover, helping others without expecting gratitude can lead to greater personal growth. It strengthens our character and teaches us resilience. When we detach from the need for external validation, we become more generous and compassionate, qualities highly regarded in Stoic philosophy. So, next time you face unappreciative behavior, remember the Stoic approach. Continue to act with kindness, not for the praise, but because it's the right thing to do. Embrace the freedom that comes from not needing approval. Your actions are valuable, not because of how they're received, but because they reflect your true self. And as we say, God helped right away, let this be a reminder that the immediate reward lies in the action itself, echoing the divine virtue of unconditional help and goodness. 2. The Perpetual Victims. Have you ever met someone who always seems to be in trouble or facing some kind of disaster, but never seems to do anything about it themselves? They might be what we call a perpetual victim. This type of person feels that life is always against them, but they don't take steps to change their situation. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of taking responsibility for our actions and lives. A famous Stoic, Epictetus, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This means that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Stoics believe in focusing on our own actions and attitudes instead of blaming our circumstances or other people. When you try to help someone who is a perpetual victim, you might find that no matter how much you do for them, it never seems enough and they don't get better. This happens because by always stepping in, you might be preventing them from learning to solve their problems themselves. It's like if someone never learns to swim because someone else is always there to keep them afloat. They don't experience the challenge and satisfaction of learning to swim by themselves. In relationships, whether they are friendships or family ties, continuously helping a perpetual victim can lead to frustration and exhaustion. You might start feeling that your efforts are wasted because the other person does not seem to improve or appreciate your help. This can create a cycle where the more you help, the more they rely on you, and the less they try to change their situation. A healthier approach would be to encourage independence. You can support them in ways that help them to take action for themselves. For example, instead of solving problems for them, you could guide them on how to handle issues, offer advice, or show them resources where they can find help. This way, you assist them, but also encourage them to take responsibility for their lives. Remember, true help sometimes means letting others face challenges so they can grow stronger. As we say in our video mantra, "God helped right away," it reflects the idea that sometimes the best help is immediate and direct, not prolonged dependency. Encourage the perpetual victims to take charge of their lives and to see that they have the power to change their circumstances. This isn't just helping them for a day, it's helping them for a lifetime. By adopting this approach, you're not just giving them a temporary solution. You're teaching them how to navigate life's waters themselves. And in doing so, you are practicing one of the greatest Stoic virtues, wisdom. Your actions can inspire them to start their journey of self-improvement, which is the most valuable help you can offer. 3. The stubbornly independent. Sometimes offering a helping hand can be as simple as knowing when to keep it to yourself. This idea is particularly true when dealing with the stubbornly independent, people who pride themselves on doing everything alone. In Stoic philosophy, wisdom isn't just about taking action, but also about knowing when inaction can be the most helpful choice. Stoicism teaches us the importance of respecting individual autonomy. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "Lead by example and let others live as they can." This means recognizing and respecting other people's desire for independence. When we try to help those who are determined to handle things on their own, our efforts may not only be wasted, but they can also be unwanted, leading to frustration on both sides. For example, consider a relationship between a parent and a grown child. The child, now an adult, strives to manage life independently, while the parent, out of love and concern, frequently offers unsolicited advice or assistance. This dynamic can strain the relationship, as the child might feel undermined rather than supported. A Stoic approach would advise the parent to step back and allow the child to face challenges alone, offering help only when truly needed or asked for. In the workplace, a similar situation can occur when a manager constantly steps in to solve problems for their team, not allowing team members to develop their problem-solving skills. The Stoic manager would instead observe and provide support only when it is necessary, fostering a sense of responsibility and growth among the team members. Stoicism doesn't suggest that we should never help others. Rather, it encourages us to be thoughtful about when our help is truly beneficial. It teaches that sometimes the best way to help someone is to let them help themselves. This approach helps individuals build confidence and resilience, which are key to personal development and success. Moreover, Stoicism highlights the concept of preferred indifference, which refers to things that are nice to have, like others' approval or constant companionship, but are not essential for our happiness and virtue. Respecting someone's independence often means embracing this concept, understanding that our peace and theirs does not rely on our constant intervention. In conclusion, while it might seem counterintuitive, the best form of help we can offer the stubbornly independent is often the freedom to face life's challenges on their own. This does not mean we care any less. It means we are giving them the space to grow and affirm their capabilities. As Stoics, we strive to respect the autonomy of others, supporting them most effectively by sometimes stepping aside and letting them navigate their paths. This approach not only strengthens their resilience, but also deepens our practice of Stoicism, reinforcing our understanding of when to act and when to let be. Remember, God helped right away doesn't always mean stepping in to fix things. Sometimes it means providing the space for others to realize they have the strength to help themselves. So, let's honor the independence of those around us, knowing that in their growth, we find our own wisdom and tranquility. 4. The non-reciprocators. Have you ever felt like you're constantly giving and never getting anything back? It's like throwing a ball against a wall, expecting it to be thrown back, but it never comes. This feeling can be frustrating and draining, especially when you're dealing with what we call non-reciprocators. These are people who, no matter how much you help them, rarely seem to return the favor or acknowledge your effort. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches the development of self-control and fortitude as a means of overcoming destructive emotions, offers valuable insights here. The Stoics remind us that while helping others is virtuous, it should not lead to a loss of personal well-being or happiness. They encourage us to help not for a reward, but because it is the right thing to do. However, they also teach the importance of self-preservation and wisdom in relationships. As the famous Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." In the context of non-reciprocators, Stoicism guides us to evaluate our intentions and the outcomes of our generosity. If you find yourself continually helping someone who doesn't reciprocate, it might be time to reconsider your approach. Stoicism teaches us that while our actions can be controlled, the reactions of others cannot. We should focus on maintaining our integrity and virtue, regardless of how others respond. For example, imagine you're always the one who reaches out to make plans with a friend, but they never initiate any meetups. Over time, this one-sided relationship can make you feel unvalued and invisible. In a Stoic view, it would be wise to address this imbalance. Perhaps discuss your feelings with your friend, or decide to invest your time in more reciprocal relationships that bring mutual satisfaction. It's important to understand that non-reciprocity doesn't only apply to personal relationships. It can occur in professional settings where you might constantly help colleagues without any acknowledgement or reciprocation. Here too, Stoicism advises us to perform our duties with diligence, but also to ensure that our generosity does not. So, remember, while helping others is a noble act, it should not come at the cost of your happiness and well-being. It's okay to step back and reassess situations where you feel overextended. This doesn't mean you stop helping altogether, but rather help wisely. As we often say here, God helped right away, reminding us that divine assistance or justice might not always be immediate, but it does come to those who do right in the right way. Let this be a guiding mantra for you. Help generously, but also guard your peace, ensuring that your efforts align with the wise and balanced path of Stoicism. By adopting this balanced approach, you empower yourself to continue your journey of helping others while also respecting and preserving your own energy and resources. This is the way to truly live a fulfilling and harmonious life, embraced by the wisdom of Stoicism. 5. The Manipulators. Manipulators are like magicians. They distract you with charm while playing tricks for their own benefit. It's important to see through the smoke and mirrors to protect your own values and well-being. Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches control over one's reactions and a focus on personal ethics, offers a powerful tool against manipulation. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom is particularly relevant when dealing with manipulators. It urges us to maintain control over our own actions and emotions, rather than being swayed by others' deceptive tactics. Manipulators often use emotional appeals or misleading information to influence others for their own gain. They might flatter you to get a favor or distort the truth to make you act in their interest. The key Stoic response is to strengthen your mental defenses by being aware of your own values and sticking to them firmly. This self-awareness helps you identify when someone is trying to manipulate you, enabling you to respond with reason rather than emotion. For example, in relationships, a manipulative partner might try to guilt you into doing things their way by claiming that you don't care about them if you don't comply. A friend might flatter you excessively when they need a favor, but ignore you at other times. In the workplace, a colleague might spread untruths to undermine others and boost their own status. In each case, the manipulator uses emotional triggers to steer others toward their desired outcome. In dealing with manipulators, it is crucial to set and enforce clear boundaries. This means communicating openly what is acceptable and what is not, and sticking to these limits even when pressured. By doing so, you protect your interests and maintain your peace of mind. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us about the importance of community and mutual respect. Helping others should be based on genuine need and mutual benefit, not deceitful tactics. When we allow ourselves to be manipulated, we are not only betraying our own values, but also harming the broader community by endorsing dishonest behavior. A motivational way to think about this issue is through the lens of personal growth and resilience. Every interaction with a manipulative person is an opportunity to practice your Stoic virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. It's about turning a challenging situation into a strengthening one, enhancing your ability to handle similar situations in the future more effectively. Remember, while you can't control the manipulative behavior of others, you can control your response to it. By applying Stoic principles, you protect not only your interests but also your inner peace. And in doing so, you uphold the Stoic belief that maintaining personal virtue is the highest good. As we navigate the complexities of human interactions, let's embrace the Stoic mantra that guides us through challenges. God helped right away. This phrase can remind us that divine assistance or inner wisdom is instantly available when we choose to align with our highest values and respond to manipulation with integrity and strength. This exploration into the nature of manipulation and how Stoicism equips us to deal with it effectively is not just about avoiding harm. It's about growing stronger and more virtuous through every challenge we face. 6. The constant complainers. Ever felt drained after talking to someone who only sees the dark clouds and never the silver lining? We all know someone like that, the constant complainers. These individuals seem to find fault in every situation, yet seldom take any steps to make things better. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers a unique perspective on handling such negativity. It teaches us that it's not the events themselves that upset us, but how we interpret them. Stoics strive to focus on what they can control, their own thoughts and actions, rather than getting caught up in circumstances or other people's behaviors that they can't change. When dealing with constant complainers, Stoicism encourages us to observe our own reactions and maintain a composed state of mind. This means listening and acknowledging their complaints without letting their negativity affect our inner peace. Stoics believe in taking proactive steps rather than merely discussing problems. This active stance not only helps us manage our interactions more effectively, but also sets a positive example for the complainers. Consider a workplace scenario. You have a co-worker who always complains about the management, the workload, and even the office coffee. Engaging in these complaints might be tempting, but a Stoic would choose to either address the issues constructively or redirect the conversation towards solutions. This approach minimizes unnecessary stress and fosters a more positive environment. In personal relationships too, constant complaining can create a heavy atmosphere. If a friend or family member always focuses on the negative, try discussing how they can change their situation or perception. Encouraging them to take action or to see different aspects of their circumstances can sometimes help shift their focus from problems to solutions. However, it's important to recognize when to offer support and when to set boundaries. Stoicism teaches that while we can offer guidance and support, we cannot control others' emotions or actions. Each person must choose their own path to change. Remembering this can prevent us from feeling frustrated or responsible for their happiness. Now, while Stoicism advocates for self-control and personal responsibility, it also recognizes the value of divine timing and intervention. The mantra, "God helped right away," resonates with the Stoic belief that sometimes what is needed comes at just the right moment. For those who are spiritual, this can mean trusting that help will arrive when it's most needed, encouraging a mindset that looks for timely solutions and divine signs in challenging situations. As we navigate life's interactions, especially with those who often complain, we can take comfort in knowing that by maintaining our own tranquility and focusing on what we can change, we contribute to a more harmonious environment. Let this be a motivation for us all. Stay true to your values, foster positive changes, and trust that the right help will come when it's time. By adopting a Stoic approach, we not only enhance our own lives, but also potentially inspire others to look beyond their complaints and towards a more constructive and fulfilling way of living. Remember, every cloud has a silver lining, and sometimes it's just about waiting for the right moment for the sun to shine through. 7. The harmfully selfish. Have you ever met someone who always seems to think about themselves first, no matter the situation? This type of person can be quite challenging to deal with, especially when their actions negatively impact those around them. In Stoic philosophy, such behavior is considered harmful selfishness, and it is often discouraged because it disrupts harmony and mutual respect. Stoic wisdom teaches us the importance of living a life that balances personal needs with the common good. The famous Stoic philosopher Seneca believed that true happiness and fulfillment come from helping others and contributing positively to society. He argued that when we focus only on our own desires at the expense of others, we not only harm those around us, but also our own character. Stoicism guides us to cultivate virtues like generosity, justice, and temperance, encouraging us to think beyond our immediate desires. According to Stoicism, helping the harmfully selfish can sometimes reinforce their negative behaviors. Instead, Stoics would advise us to lead by example, promoting virtues that benefit both the individual and the community. By embodying these virtues ourselves, we can influence others to reflect on their actions and perhaps begin to change. Stoicism isn't about forcing change, but about inspiring it through our own actions and steadfast character. In relationships, dealing with someone who is harmfully selfish can be particularly draining. This might be a friend who only calls when they need something, or a family member who always makes decisions that benefit them, regardless of others' needs. In such cases, Stoicism teaches us to set firm boundaries. These boundaries are not meant to push people away, but to protect our own well-being and to signal to the selfish person that their behavior is not acceptable. It's about respecting ourselves enough to not continually be taken advantage of. Moreover, in a broader sense, Stoicism helps us understand the impact of selfishness on society. When individuals act only out of self-interest, it can lead to larger societal issues like inequality, injustice, and discord. Stoics would argue that by working towards the common good, we not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to a more just and harmonious society. Now, turning this philosophy into practice isn't always easy, but it is rewarding. It involves daily reflection on our actions and decisions, asking ourselves if we are contributing to the common good or merely looking out for ourselves. It also involves being mindful of how we interact with others, ensuring that our actions do not harm but help. In the spirit of Stoic wisdom, let's strive to embody the virtues that lead to a fulfilling and harmonious life. Remember, when we live rightly and justly, we align ourselves with the Stoic ideal that God helped write away. This mantra reminds us that divine or moral support comes swiftly to those who live virtuously and in accordance with reason. Let this thought motivate us to reflect on our actions and choose a path that not only benefits us, but also those around us. In conclusion, dealing with the harmfully selfish can be a significant challenge, but Stoicism offers us the tools to handle this effectively. By leading by example, setting boundaries, and promoting a culture of mutual respect and virtue, we can inspire change not just in ourselves, but in those around us. Let's take these teachings to heart and work towards being a positive force in our relationships and our community. After all, in doing so, we are not just helping others, we are also building a richer, more meaningful life for ourselves. 8. The envious. Have you ever felt overshadowed, not by someone's success, but by their inability to be happy for yours? Envy can be like a shadow, darkening even the brightest of achievements. It's a feeling we've all encountered, either in ourselves or in others. In this exploration, we delve into how Stoicism, an ancient philosophy known for its practical wisdom, guides us in dealing with the envious, and how this can improve not just individual relationships, but our entire approach to community and cooperation. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness comes from within, depending on our own virtues and character, rather than external possessions or achievements. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius believed that our reactions to life's events, including the success of others, reflect our inner state and values. When someone reacts with envy, it's often a sign of their internal struggles and dissatisfaction with their own life. This understanding can help us approach the envious with a sense of compassion rather than irritation. But how do we deal with the feelings of envy we encounter? Stoicism offers clear guidance. First, recognize that what others have or achieve does not diminish your own worth or potential. Every person's journey is different. Comparisons only distract from personal growth. Stoics emphasize focusing on what you can control, your actions, responses, and commitment to personal virtues. By maintaining this focus, you protect your inner peace from the disruptive effects of envy. In relationships, whether they're with friends, family, or colleagues, envy can create tension and discomfort. It might show up subtly, like a friend who always finds a flaw in your successes, or more overtly, like a coworker who openly resents your promotions. Here, Stoic wisdom advises us to lead by example. Show that your self-worth and happiness are not tied to others' opinions or achievements, but rooted in living according to your values. This can inspire those around you to reflect on their attitudes and perhaps begin to change. Further extending this Stoic practice, consider your response to envy not just in personal terms, but as part of a broader societal engagement. When you encounter envy, respond with kindness and understanding, not spite or bitterness. This approach can transform potentially negative interactions into opportunities for mutual growth. Encourage discussions about feelings and achievements in ways that emphasize shared goals and common values rather than personal gains. Here's an example. Imagine a friend who reacts negatively every time you share good news. Instead of pulling away or responding in kind, engage them in a conversation about their goals and challenges. Show genuine interest in their well-being. This can help shift the focus from comparison to support, aligning with the Stoic belief in the power of community and mutual aid. Remember, too, that dealing with envy also means addressing any feelings of envy you might experience. Reflect on why you feel envious and consider whether those feelings are based on real deficiencies in your life or misplaced values on external validation. Stoicism teaches us to focus on self-improvement and virtue, which are within our control, rather than on external circumstances that we cannot influence. As we navigate these relationships and our own feelings, let's hold on to the idea that every interaction is an opportunity to practice the virtues of patience, understanding, and generosity. By doing so, we not only overcome the challenges posed by envy, but also contribute to a more supportive and empathetic community. This is how we live out the Stoic ideal of a life well lived, grounded in virtues that uplift ourselves and those around us. In closing, if you find yourself struggling with how to handle envy, whether your own or someone else's, remember the Stoic mantra, God helped right away. This doesn't mean a divine intervention in the literal sense, but a reminder that the tools and wisdom you need to handle these challenges are already within you, provided by the philosophical insights of Stoicism. You have the power to change the narrative, to turn envy into an opportunity for personal and communal growth. Through Stoicism, we learn not just to survive in a world riddled with envy and competition, but to thrive by fostering virtues that elevate our spirit and strengthen our communities. Let's carry this wisdom forward, embracing each day as a new chance to live our values boldly and openly, in a way that invites others to join us on this path of tranquility and fulfillment. Remember, in the landscape of human emotions, The sunniest spots are reserved for those who cultivate peace within themselves and encourage others to do the same. Hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our journey through Stoic philosophy, and share this video to help spread wisdom that can truly transform lives.